Morning folks, welcome to Thursday the 4th of January. I'm going to go through the charts quickly. We had a fantastic trading day yesterday and loads of profits, and we're wondering what to do next, I suppose. So let's try and see if we can get some answers for that. After that, I'll tell you about this new idea I've got to empower young men in the trading world, and I'll show you my link to that on X shortly. But let's go through the charts. So we're currently not trading the major currencies. The only major that we are trading is the dollar yen. So let's focus on that. I think generally currencies will be range bound most of 2024, so we're looking to buy the dips, sell the rallies, as I said in my previous video. And I'll link to the summary video for 2024, the way I see things at the moment, at the end of this video. So let's have a look at dollar yen, and I'm going to go through these super fast. We've come down to the support level around about 140. It's a big round number, so naturally we're going to find support. We took most of our profit down at these bottoms. We're now starting to look to sell back into dollar yen. I need to adjust this quickly because we did make a new low. So there we go, that puts it into perspective. We've got resistance above us. Obviously a key swing high to the left here from July. You can imagine if we touched around about that level, 145 or so, and then moved down, we'd have something that looks a little bit like a head and shoulders. But we'll have to wait and see how that goes. We're at the downward trend line now on the daily chart. We've started to sell, but I'm allowing for moves right up into the golden pocket, the 618 fib, and these two moving averages, the 50 and the 100. And that's at around about 147.30. I don't think it's going to get that high, but if it does, that will be the place to pile on the shorts for dollar yen. In the meantime, we're testing this trend line right now. We might have to get up to that swing high at 145, and we may have to get up to 146 or maybe even 147.30. We'll be watching this one very closely. I still think our target for this remains in the low 130s. Nothing else to be said on the other major currencies, so we're not trading those at the moment. But the dollar index has bounced off that 78.6% fib as I thought we would. We reached up to this next resistance level at around 1 to 250, and we're just pulling back in again. I still think we're going to see further dollar strength. We'll have to see how this plays out. We will be watching the daily candles and the 4-hour candles very closely. Overall, I think we're going to be range between 110 and 100 for most of this year. But that's just my view at the moment, and we'll adjust as the market moves. Right, going across the stocks, well, we've been short right from the top on NASDAQ. We also closed our short trades on Nvidia and Affirm after big moves down yesterday. And the NASDAQ, I think we'll see some continuation. My idea is that we'll get about a 5% pullback now, perhaps a bit of a bounce after that, and then maybe a 5 to 10% general range, pullback range, until somewhere before the elections, maybe the beginning of the second quarter, where we could expect the NASDAQ, S&P and stocks to rally a bit further. So a 5% drop from the highs is very convenient because it would take us down to these previous swing highs. So that's 4.9%. That takes us down to those previous swing highs. There's also one there to the left, over there, more or less the same sort of level, slightly lower. And that's around about 16,000 to 16,200. We'll be looking to take profit then and watch to see what happens. So far, so good. Same again today, I think. But, anything can happen. So we'll wait and see how this plays out. We're not going to trade any names currently as far as I can see at the moment. And we're also short on the US 30. You can see a big sharp drop yesterday. We're short right from the top, and we're still holding on to that position. Once again, I think we could get a 5 to 10% correction. So if we take that from the top, we'd be targeting very similar to NASDAQ, these previous swing highs on the left over here. That's around about 35,600, and that's a 5.8% correction from these highs, so down to there. So that looks good to me. So our target for US 30 is at around about 35,800, maybe 3600. Right, when it comes to metals, we're long on gold, we're long on UEC and long on URA. The uranium instruments are just finding support. I think it's going to be a long sort of grinding, drawn out process with a bit of pressure put on uranium in the early part of the year. So be aware of that. But when it comes to gold, we have a long position. This is the weekly chart. The interesting thing about gold is if we switch to the monthly chart, you can see it's clearly bullish. Please ignore all the lines. I'm going to go back to the weekly and the daily chart, so I'm not going to delete them. You can see we've formed this consolidation range over multiple years, and we're now trying to break out through the top. So it looks very bullish on the monthly chart. But then going to the day chart, you can see that we're trying to find support at around about this level. And we are long on gold already. And if we go to the 4-hour chart, you can see just trying to find support on that 100-period moving average and the 200s just below us, making some reversal candles on the 4-hour and beginning to rally. I think there's going to be pressure on gold, but I think gold will hold up better than the rest of the metals and perhaps stocks and Bitcoin and that sort of thing. So we'll continue to look to buy dips, but I'm allowing for dips down into the 1800s, and that's a long way below us. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out. I've got plenty of ammo in the magazine to buy further dips. I'm saving my gunpowder for this one. Silver, please go and have a look at my comments on X. My comment really was we could get to $18 on silver, so protect your downside. There's a reason for that. And UEC and URA, I think just sort of edging higher over the next year or so. And then going across to the other commodities, you can see the US 10-year yield trying to recover a bit, moving into some strong resistance, downward trend line, and the 20 and the 200 period moving averages. We'll have to pay very close attention to how the dollar trades for the next number of weeks, because that's definitely going to affect Bitcoin and stocks and everything else. Bitcoin we sold yesterday literally right at the top and we got out right at the bottom, so fantastic trade and we're on the side for that. I don't know which way Bitcoin's going to go in the short-term future, but I think in the longer term we'll get up to 48 or 50,000 for a short, or we might get down to 38 to 40,000 for a long. So we could trade this from extremities, selling at the top, buying at the bottom, but I think overall this is going to show an upward trend and probably quite a strong one into 2024. So be very careful of shorting it. We were lucky yesterday. VIX, we went long at the beginning of the week and we took profit on VIX yesterday. I'm not too sure about VIX at the moment, but so far so good. I'm trading VIXY, which deteriorates and degenerates and degrades and decays, so I don't stay in that trade for too long. And I can't trade VIX, by the way, I can only trade VIXY. But if you are trading VIX, it looks pretty good, and I wouldn't be getting out of this right now. I think VIX has got opportunity to move up from around about 13, 14 at the moment, perhaps back up to 20 or 22. We've got nothing on sugar, having taken great profits on that. We've got a short position on London cocoa, and eventually that's beginning to move down. We've taken quite a lot of profit on this already, but we're looking for a move down to about 3,000. I want to see a break of this upward sloping channel line and a move down into the 100 period moving average, just above 3,000, potentially even the 200 period moving average way down here at 2.7. So we're in a good position on this. We're in good profit. We've already taken some profit, and we'll continue to watch this one, hopefully move down in our favor. We have nothing on WTI at the moment. I'm looking to sell rallies on oil. I'm looking for a target of oil of around about $50 to $55. And you can see my sort of projected path there, looking for a rally back up to this 200 period moving average. We're probably going to have to break the trend line, stop out some traders, and we might even need to visit the 100 period moving average, and that's above $80 per barrel. And then finally, natural gas. This is the day chart on my Black Bull Broker chart. By the way, talking about Black Bull Brokers, there's a link in the description below. If you open a trading account with Black Bull Brokers, they will give you TradingView Charts Pro free of charge. There's a link below. I do get a little bit of commission from Black Bull if you trade through them. It doesn't cost you a penny, but I do recommend them as a broker, and I've used them for a long time. So natural gas, we're approaching this 200 period moving average. I've put a tweet up with numbers on it. I'm going to switch to that chart. We're going across to the Henry Hub chart, and there are the numbers. That's the average price of our long entry at around about the 200-day moving average at around about $2.60. We're now at $2.76. We got to $2.78 at one point. Next goal is to close above these moving averages at station 2. That's the 50 and the 100. The 50 is the red one. And then the next one after that is station 3, and that's a close above $3. So far, so good. I don't know what's going to happen when the reports come out this afternoon, but we're in the right direction. We're in profit, but it's in the lap of the reporters and the gods, I suppose. Okay, so that's it, folks. Have a fantastic trading day. I want to update you on this idea I put up on Twitter just a little while back, so let's go there. And once again, if you're not following me on X, go across there and press the follow and notify bell so that you get alerts whenever I post things up. There's some pretty interesting charts on there at the moment, which you might like to look at. But this is what I want to talk about, the Young Man's Trading Academy. Let's just zoom in on this, and I'll read it to you. Young Man's Trading Academy, teaching young men to become good traders, better men, and the best they can be. I think there's no greater need in the trading community and society at large. What do you think? I'm looking for, and this is where you come in, and please comment and let me know if you can help. I'm looking for team members, traders, social media experts, and mentors who want to empower young men across the world. And I just made that logo up. It's not a real logo, but if you post on X and you don't put an image, your posts don't get viewed. So let me know what you think. Go and have a look at this post on X, and I'd love to hear from you. Put your comments here below this video or on X. Let me know if you can help, if you agree with me, if you think there's a need, and I'd be super interested to hear from you. Take care. Speak to you soon.